Hello, my name is Eric and I'm doing another one of my photo challenges called One Body, One Lens, One Roll, One Day. It is a very nice, warm June morning. I'm at the Whips Ledges in Hinckley, Ohio. I'm at the top of ledges. I've been here a couple times. I did one with the snow, walking around with the snow over on the whip on the ledges and then down the paths down that direction. I'm going to go back to the top of the ledges now that the weather's good and it's not as slippery as it was back then. Today's camera, going back to the 1990s, actually 1990 exactly. This is the original Canon Rebel. No Rebel S, no 2s, no T's, no 2000s, no G's, no extra letters. This is the original Canon Rebel camera. Came out in the 1990s. And this is the one that kind of started it all with that Rebel name that kind of went through even through the digital era. Now this camera does not have a pop-up flash like some of the other cameras that I have, but I did manage to get a hold of a Canon 430EX version 1 flash, which is from about the same era. And so we're going to load it up here. Today's film is Kodak's ProImage 100. This is fresh stock film. Bought it a couple months ago. I bought a Pro Pack of it. This is still one of those rolls from that Pro Pack, and we're gonna stick it in there. So because it's not expired, I'm not going to be doing any adjustments to it. It'll be shot at 100, and then turn it on. And it is pre-winding the entire roll. A lot of Canons do that. A few others, some of the Fuji Pocket cameras do that. So I'll know right away how many shots, and it stopped at 36, so I'm going to get my 36 photos. Sometimes you get an extra 37th. Now just as a reminder, with those cameras that pre-wind your film, as you take photos, it rolls it back inside the canister. So if you accidentally open up the back going, do I have film in this thing? Only thing you've ruined is maybe your last photo or two, as everything else is safe inside your canister. However, before you even try to open it up, most of the autofocus series film cameras do have a little window, tells you what film in it, how many exposures you have. This says ProImage 100.36, so I know what film's in here. So you should be able to read, as long as you load your film correctly, you should be able to read that you have film and what film you put in there. All right, I got some batteries in my flash, and I'm going to take some shots around the top here, and then I'm going to start walking down to the top of the ledges. All right, be right back. Forgot to say what lens I have. I have actually the original 35-80 that was typically paired up with this camera. It's standard 4 to 5.6, nothing really big. This is before they did the STM motor, so it's kind of a little bit of a noisy. Some of the ultrasonic lenses were out there, but this was the basic kit stock lens. The only thing that I'm not impressed with is about this era is where they started doing plastic lens mounts on the back of the lens, and in some cases plastic lens mounts on the camera chassis. They made it nice and lightweight. The problem is it made it less rugged, so if this thing were to take a hard knock, you know, the lips on these things were known to break. And this is not a lens that you would, you know, send out to get fixed if you drop that. You could find another one for 25 to 50 bucks. Now, not a big fan of the plastic on the lens mounts. I'm kind of okay with the plastic on the body. It's a lot more secured. I do still prefer metal, but plastic on the body doesn't faze me as much as plastic on the lens. All right, let me get back to some more shots. So in order to make some of these autofocus lenses faster, their focus throws, how they design the optics and how far the lens spins around between minimum focus distance and infinity, is actually pretty tight. If this guy's manual focus from maximum to minimum is only about a quarter spin around the lens. So you can do manual focus, but it's very hard to find your exact point because you don't have as much of fine-tuned control as of a lens that maybe spins halfway around or maybe even all the way around, like some of the really old manual cameras. But it did make the autofocus system faster, so that was that was good, as it, you know, snapped right in and boom, there it is. All right, I'm gonna get some more shots around this top picnic area, and I'll keep going down the path towards the ledges. Be right back. Now, because this camera's kind of getting up there in age, I am seeing on the inner viewfinder the green LED area where it tells you shutter speed, aperture, and you know, your metering when you're in manual mode or exposure comp. There's a little bit of bleed, or half of the shutter speeds kind of cover up with just a green blob. I mean, these things happen, especially with these older cameras. Now, a lot of cameras also have a top LCD button, so it does tell me shutter speed, aperture, and my film count at the top. But as far as the inside view, partial of it is starting to fade or just kind of wear out just because of the age. I mean, this is a 35-year-old camera, so, you know, things do wear out. All right, I'm going to get some more shots. Be right back. So I'm glad I brought the flash with me, because underneath the canopy of the trees, even though it is a nice bright June morning, light's not getting underneath the canopy, so it's about 6 or 7 stops darker. Base metering that I'm getting in here with this 100-speed film is about f4.5 at about a 15th of a second. Now, very hard for me to handhold at a 15th of a second. I can brace myself leaning against a tree, putting my elbows on a picnic bench. That's also the reason why you could be carrying around a monopod or tripod when you go out and do your own photo excursions. If you're, you know, a heavy shade or an overcast day and you want to shoot the slower speed stuff or shoot at lower ISOs for digital, you may want to find some way of either bringing a monopod or a tripod, or just be aware of natural tripods. And what I mean by natural tripod is, again, something you can lean against, something you can push the camera against to help hold you steady, put your elbows on. You can find them everywhere, but maybe not necessarily at the angle or position that you want. So having a monopod or tripod definitely helps. I do have a second tripod in the car, but I'm not going to bring it. I'm going to see what I can get, plus the fact I've got the flash to try to help me out. And let's keep going. All right, be right back. So I'm doing a few shots with and without the flash so you can see how the flash might affect your shot. Should knock off some of the shadows and stuff like that, but I do like the dramatic light coming through the canopy of the trees and what it's doing to this log and stuff like that. The ledges are right over there. I will be right back. All right, well, for some reason my camera decided to freeze up at shot 17. Not sure why. No reaction to the shutter button. No reaction to my power switch. I'm going to try ejecting the batteries. Then we get to reset. No, actually my batteries may have died on me, which is possible because these are just some test batteries. All right, so I got to go grab some more batteries, which I think I have some in my camera bag, and we'll continue on. We're about shot 17. All right, be right back. All right, so it does look like my battery died on me. This camera uses a 2CR5 twin pack, and it was a test battery I had, so I mean I didn't know how many rolls of film I'd shot through it, but it appears to have died on me. So this episode's probably done until I get a new battery. So what I'm going to do is work my way back up to my car, and then I can take this roll of film out in a dark room at home. It'll be a half roll, but you know, it is what it is when you don't bring a spare battery. All right, if you like the shots at the end, even though there may not be quite as many, but I did take 17 photos, feel free to give them a thumbs up. These episodes come out once or twice a week. Feel free to subscribe, and then that way you'll see when new ones come out. Different cameras, different lenses, different films. Certain tips and tricks that you may not have, may not be aware of or you completely forgot about. One, bring a spare battery. Oh well. All right, so I'm going to anyway, comment on the photos at the end. They'll be posted at the end. Subscribe. Feel free to like the shots. Comment on them. All right, we'll see you next episode.